Uncomfortable Convos. It's your boy, the one with the scar on his face, your boy Scarface. And I want to thank you guys always again for tuning in to the episodes every week. They've been doing better and better and better. And then you guys have been loving that I've also included Ariana in some of these episodes. She's not here this weekend, obviously, or she'd be on the episode. But you guys have been loving those episodes. Thank you guys so much because she loves doing them. I love doing them with her. And we have great conversations and you guys love them as well. So don't worry. Anytime she's in town, we're definitely going to do an episode. If wherever you guys are listening to this, give us a thumbs up, a 5-star, like the video, share the video, please. It helps the podcast so much. We got all sorts of stuff for you coming, and I'm excited for that. If you guys want to continue to help the podcast, we do sell hat pins, merchandise. Ariana is also going to be selling some merchandise too, which I'm super excited for because she's an amazing person and she has great stuff. And she has a great sense of humor. So if we haven't announced it yet, I don't think so, but it's also going to be included in my merch store because we tried making separate ones, but it's like a lot of hassle and a lot of work. So we're just going to integrate it into one. So, but everything is going to go towards her and her kids because, I want them to build something great for themselves as well. And you know what I mean? Like help her grow, give her the right tools. So, but today I actually wanted to get into this episode because this has been popular. We've been talking about cheating. We've been talking about this, and that. And one of the questions that I got recently, shout out to Daquan, he's like, who do you think cheats more, men or women? And I sat there and I thought about it for a little bit and I could not get a good answer. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, damn, I need to know more. Like I honestly gave him the answer I thought of at the time. But here's the thing. Now, it's scientifically proven, right? I'll show you guys right now. So studies on cheating show that both men and women cheat, but the reasons that rates can vary depending on the context of the age group. Generally, surveys have found men historically reported cheating at higher rates, especially in younger age groups. However, in recent years, the gap has been closing. Some studies suggest that women in their 20s and 30s may cheat nearly as much as men, though often for different reasons. Women often cheat when feeling emotionally unfulfilled, while men tend to cite physical attraction or opportunity as a factor. And so here's my thing. If we're just counting the cheating portion, like say a man and a woman are obviously hooking up. The man has a wife. The girl doesn't have a husband or is single, or she's single. Does it count for her to be a cheater too? Because technically, knowingly, let this man hook up. So technically, she's a cheater too, right? Like, I'm just being honest here. Or not. Like, let me know. Because I think that's cheating. Or she should be considered a cheater too, knowingly. If she didn't know, obviously that's a little bit different because, sometimes these guys be hiding everything. But knowingly, I think that's cheating. Now, if we're not counting that, I think it's just, men do tend to cheat a lot more just because it's an ego thing. Maybe depending on their age or what's going on, they're physically attracted to somebody else and so on and so forth. There can be a lot of different reasons for different guys. So I personally think, if we're just counting the person who's doing the cheating, meaning like they're the one stepping out of the relationship, then men. Then I honestly think men do, just because it happens a lot to men where they don't know, like it's their ego feeding to them saying like, hey, like, can you still pull a girl? Can you still get a girl? Or hey, like I need to show people, or I need to, for some reason, fulfill myself, letting myself know I can pull other girls. I still got, some guys go through that type of situation. Or maybe they're not in a healthy relationship. They want to cheat. Again, everybody cheats for different reasons. But if we're gonna go based off just the person who cheated, then men. You know what I mean? Like I feel like men cheat a little bit more just because, again, ego based. They tend to be a lot less happy in relationships and tend not to fix the relationship, meaning like they don't verbalize what they don't like, communicate what they don't like. They're more of like, oh, I'm fine. But in reality, there's a lot of things going on with this person. Or like if we're gonna, the reason I say women is because, like, if we're counting the women, because most of the time, like, correct me if I'm wrong, really, ladies, you guys decide who you're gonna hook up with or not. You know what I mean? Uh, and so if you knew that this guy was in a relationship, is married, and you let him cheat with you, are you not considered a cheater as well? Because you're involved in the act, you're an accessory, kind of like a crime. Like, even if you know about it, you're an accessory to it, you knowingly doing that, I think you should also be considered a cheater. Like, let's just be honest. Like, I really want to know what you guys think, because to me, I think everyone's gonna have a different perspective and different view on this. But this is why you guys like this. I wish I was having this conversation with Ariana to see where she's coming from, because maybe like she agrees or doesn't agree. I don't know, and that's why I like it, like having these conversations with her, because I would say again, please debate me wherever you guys are listening to this. On Spotify, you can leave questions and stuff like that. On YouTube, you can leave comments. If the woman is involved knowingly that this guy that she's hooking up with, or girl, it doesn't matter, um, knowing that they are married or they have a partner, are they considered a cheater as well? It doesn't matter if they're single. Like, how come, like, I think, and that's why I say girls cheat more, because based off of that scenario, that equation right there, I think women cheat more. Again, I want you guys to debate me or let me know what you guys think. But if we're just counting the person who's cheating, then the man. You know what I mean? Like, so that's my 2 cents about that, because again, everyone's gonna have a different scenario or the way they see things, and that's the way I just see it. And I know you guys love my perspective on a lot of these things, and that's why you guys tune into this stuff. You guys tune in to get that type of information, or perspectives and things like that. Because we've also been doing the lives on Instagram and TikTok where I bring people on, and I go live with them and they explain to me their cheating situation or something like that. And everyone's situation is a little different. Obviously, at the end of the day, like, the one common denominator here is the person is cheating, or they caught the person cheating. But there's been caught her man cheating her husband with another man in different countries, all over the place, like, in just different situations. That's why I feel like a lot of the time the girl does know, and if they know, because they're like, oh, he says that he's gonna leave her for me. Is she considered a cheater? Like, come on, let's be honest. Like, let's be honest. Like, I think, and vice versa. Like, the guy is single, the girl's married. Um, the guys should also be considered that cheater. You know what I mean? Because you're allowing this to happen. The guy could have easily been like, no, this ain't happening, because you're in a relationship. And you see how it gets like a little dicey. Um, and that's why this topic is so complex, and I feel like that's why it's like so popular with the TikToks, the podcasts, and everything like that. Just because there's cheating comes in different ways. It can be emotionally, physically. You know what I mean? Like, it could be through messages. It could be actually meeting up. It could be a bunch of different things. And it's yeah, like it's a really not touchy situation, like, because a lot of people are a lot more open. And then even on these TikToks, people somebody commented like, hey, I think these are turning into confessionals, because a lot of these people are uh just saying like what, kind of like confessing what they're doing. And I get where they're coming from with that, but they just also want to get somebody else's perspective. uh, and it's fine if it turns into a more confessional, just because the stories are interesting, the things are interesting, uh, and it's mainly bringing awareness. You know what I mean? Like, bringing awareness, like the different ways people cheat, the different things that like you can catch on to, or what they've done. Um, There's the girl who said that she caught her man cheating because of his Apple iWatch, or the iWatch he had, because I guess he forgot to delete the messages through the app, or not the app, through the what's it called, the watch. And that's how she caught. And that's why I was saying, like, I always tell people, like, you can be perfect 365 days a year, or 64 days a year. It just takes that one day that you fuck up, you get caught slipping, you forget to delete messages, you didn't realize the Apple Watch saves the messages. you know, you forget to delete your call history, you forget to delete the message. Like, it gets so crazy, and I think it takes a lot more work to actually cheat on somebody than to, like, just be straight up, be like, yo, I ain't really feeling this anymore. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm gonna go talk to other people. And then now you can go do whatever you want, like, not having to hide stuff. But it also could come her, just the thought of her touching another person, another guy, or another guy, laying his hands on her. I was like, nah, man, that ain't happening. Nah, fam. uh, but then after a while, like, I realized that we weren't happy, and, like, we ended up separating. So I think, again, people would be like, you're doing another cheating. No, I'm trying to bring a lot of awareness to it, just because it does help a lot of people. Um, the, I love the messages that I get where people are like, hey, you helped me because of this, because of that. And some of the cheating ones, like, I've also gotten messages like, hey, I caught my husband cheating because of this. And again, I'm not here trying to, like, bring down guys, like, not at all. I'm here just to help people. Like, that's why I did like, when I say help people, I just posted a reel on my Instagram where Ariana, she sent me this video. She's like, oh my God, these dupes are so crazy. Like, beauty dupes, like duplicates. She's like, when I go, I definitely have to go get some. And I was like, hey, like, let me actually go get them for her, uh, and then I'll make a cool little video, and it's like, I want to educate people doing stuff like that. Like, going to get the stuff, even without the video, took me maybe 5-10 minutes. 5-10 minutes, and you would have made your girl's day, because you would have seen, oh, like, she really wants these. There's no Trader Joe's where she's at, so obviously it's when she comes over here. So I was like, hey, let me go get them for her. That way she can try them out when she comes over, and she's gonna have them. And since I'm a content creator, obviously make a video for it. And so I did that, and I remember I told her, I was like, yeah, I got them for you. And she said, like, she loved it. You know what I mean? Because she wasn't expecting me to go and get them for her. She was just like, hey, like, I saw this video. This is really cool. Obviously, there's Trader Joe's right there where you live at now, and I need to go get these. And so it's literally like 5 minutes away. So what did I do? I went to go get them real quick. And then after that, something that took maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And I asked her, when we were talking about it, she was like, some people would have thought, oh, just go get them. Like, even if you pay for them and just be here, go get them, is not the same. Because now it doesn't matter. Like, again, say she was here and I would have been like, oh, okay, like, here's the money, you go buy them. Which is cool, don't get me wrong. Of course, do that every now and then. But here's the difference in that. That's why this is different. She sent me the video not knowing that I was going to go do that, right? She sent me the video because she thought it was something cool. Obviously, like, she wants to, like, share stuff with, like, she shares memes, all sorts of stuff with me. And she saw this and she's like, oh, I definitely want to go try this. And knowing me, I'll probably remember. And so when she's here, I would have been like, hey, like, do you still want to go do that? But it was the fact that I went. Like, here's how she explained it. She's like, you got in your car. You went to Trader Joe's. You went in. You looked for the stuff. You paid for it. You took it, and then you went back home. You took a picture and you sent it to me saying, like, hey, I got you the stuff. And she's like, that right there is a huge, even if it was just one of the items, right? Like, everybody's financial situation is a little different. Even if it's just one of the items, because I'm not telling a guy, go get them all. If you can only afford to get like a couple, get a couple. If you can only do one, do one. You know, it's that thought. It was the whole thought process. It was the whole action. That whole action goes a long way, like a long way compared to just being like, here, go get them. There's the money, go get them. You know what I mean? There was not very much thought process in there. There was not much of like effort on your end as a guy when you could have been like, oh, okay. Like it's little things like that. She didn't tell me to go get them for her. She was just like, oh, look what I saw. She's like, I definitely need to get these when I go. And so me being me, I was like, shit, I'll go get them right now. You know, because like literally Trader Joe's is on the way because I was gonna go to the SWAT meet and I had to go all the way to Phoenix, but it's literally on the way. So taking like 5-10 minutes out of my trip to stop in there, get them real quick. I screenshotted all of them. And then again, since I create content, I was able to um just make a cool little video. Like if you haven't seen it, go on my Instagram, go on my TikTok, it's on there. Trader Joe's beauty duplicates or dupes I put. And it's just little things like that. Like that's why I'm trying to tell guys that things can be super simple. People overcomplicate like putting in effort. They think that it's supposed to be extravagant all the time. It's supposed to be like you're supposed to do all sorts of stuff for this person, be buying expensive gifts. No, it's just doing little things like that, putting in effort. Again, even if it was just one, I'm sure if I would have just got one, she would have been extremely happy about that. You know what I mean? But the video had all those, and I was like, okay, I was only not able to get one, and it's because they didn't have it, or else I would have got it. They didn't have it. I kept looking and looking. That's the only reason why it took me a little bit longer because I was like, maybe it's in a different section for some reason, you know. And so I looked around the store, didn't see it, looked through all the hair, make sure that it wasn't behind the other ones, it wasn't there, and I was like, I don't think they have it here. And I was like, oh well, I got all the other ones, so it should be good. Um, you know, maybe later on I'll find a different Trader Joe's and go check that one out and be like, oh shit, they got it here. But I included in the video, and to me, I like doing stuff like that because it's also exciting. You know, it keeps the relationship interesting because I was super excited to go get the stuff and surprise her and be like, hey, look, I got you these already. You know, just because I know it's gonna make her feel great, you know, and loved and all sorts of things. And so that's what I was excited for. Again, even if it was just one of the items, guys overcomplicated. Like, no, you don't need to go get all of them. If she shows you something, be like, oh shit, like she likes those. I didn't know. I mean, go to Ulta, screenshot this real quick, go to Ulta, see if they have like again, depending on what she's looking for. Because girls are always scrolling and seeing stuff like this, like, oh, because like some of the stuff is like one thing was like $7.99 or $6.99, and like the one it's trying to duplicate is like a $40 product. And if you can just pay $6.99 compared to a $40 product, then girls are like, hell yeah. You know, even guys should be like that. Hell yeah. Um, and so it's just exciting, you know, to try something and be like, oh, this is just like it. Like shout out to Alt Fragrances. They send me colognes and stuff like that, which are like duplicates to other stuff. And I'm just like, shit, it's funny because it smells just like them. And I'm just like, shit, if you guys want to send them to me, shit, more than happy to use them. Uh, you know, because hopefully in the future, they cut the check for your boy. But it just like things like that, like no one's gonna be like, oh shit, that smells great. Like, is it the actual real one or is it a duplicate? You know what I mean? No one's ever gonna say that. Um, I mean, the reason I bring that up too, like the whole thing that I did, was because like you can keep your relationship interesting instead of having it to lead to cheating. Because if you put all your efforts and uh, energy into one person, this one person is going to be amazing. You know, like they're just going to unlock a different side of them. Like if they know they got you, like if you know they got you and they know that you got them, meaning like you got their back, then the relationship just turns into something great and amazing. And it can stay like that as long as you keep it interesting. Like it's just like everything else. Like if you buy something, you're going to get bored with it after a while because you're just doing the same shit with it or you're not adding to it. That's why like guys like to buy more video games. Why? Because it keeps the game interesting. if you had the one game, like say you bought the PS5 and you had one game, over a period of time, you'd be like, all right, fuck, it's time to get a new game because I'm fucking tired of this game. But imagine trying to play the same one over and over and over. See it the same with the relationship. Like you have to keep adding stuff and doing stuff in the relationship to keep it interesting because if not, it's just going to be repetitive, comfortable, boring. The spice is not going to be there anymore. The excitingness is not going to be there anymore. Like one of the things that Ariana and myself want to do is like try different restaurants every time she's here. I'm not saying like we go out to eat every fucking time. I'm just saying like when she's here, we're gonna try something new. You know what I mean? Like we went to this Italian place, great. I want to take her to Taco Boys. Taco Boys is fucking fire. I'll tell you that. If you're ever in the AZ area, Taco Boys. Shout out to Jennifer, Taste of AZ. She's the one that recommended me that place. Fire ass tacos, like and just food. I went to the one in Tempe because I was out driving around and just exploring, and that's something I want to do. With her, you know, because I'm new here, she's new here, and it's just exploring a new place. You know, eventually I want to do some vlogs of us going and like checking out places, but you know, we'll get into that. It's just more work. You know what I mean? Like I already have to do the podcast, the TikToks, the clips, and like all this stuff. Trust me, it's a lot of work, and adding vlogs into it is just it probably won't be daily. You know what I mean? But again, you don't need to be cheating like. And if the relationship is just done or you just want something different, don't put that other person through that. You know what I mean? But again, everyone's going to do what they want to do at the end of the day. And, you know, you can't stop it at all. But, you know, that's mainly why I wanted to do this episode is because that has been, obviously that question has been on my mind. I even made a TikTok post not that long ago just because I want to see what people think about it. You know what I mean? Like what are their 2 cents about it? Like what do they think? Like what do you think? Because cheating is not going to go away. Like let's be honest. Like cheating is not going anywhere because no relationship is perfect. I'm not saying be perfect. I'm not perfect, meaning like everybody has their flaws. And so but I think we can really minimize cheating by like being communicative with your partner. Like if there's something that's bugging you or something, or even if you feel like the vibe is off now, like if you don't feel the same towards the person, just be like, yo, we either need to fix this, figure out why is it like, how come I'm not wanting you as much as I wanted you before, you know, like have those serious, uncomfortable conversations. Because if you don't, it just leads to cheating. Well, sometimes it leads to cheating because if they don't, they want that attention from somewhere. So, and they're going to find it with whoever lets them cheat. And cheating happens all the time. That's why I said it's not going anywhere, but maybe like we can try to minimize it a little bit, meaning just by like just communicating a little bit more. And then also people being aware how different people cheat. That's why like the lives do great because people, maybe they learn something new. They want the tea. Everybody loves some tea. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, I can't. Even if they're in a happy ass relationship, they still want to hear the tea. Let's be honest. Like, I've been there. You've been there. Like, we just love to hear some chisme every now and then. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so, or some people are just trying to see if they're in a similar situation. So, so cheating, like that's why I wanted to do that TikTok and do a full episode on that too. And then talk about like how to avoid little things like that. Is like obviously one, communicating, and keep it interesting, kind of like the reel that I just talked about that I made. You got to keep it interesting. Doing different stuff for the person, surprising the person, not getting comfortable with the person. Because once you start getting comfortable, once you start pulling back a little bit, that's why like bring things up. Like say, we talked about it on the podcast. Like if you can't keep with Ariana, if you can't keep that energy, just don't do it. You know, don't give that much energy because the moment you pull some of that energy away now or attention or whatever the case, now it's going to be like, dang, like, does he feel different about me? Does she feel different about me? Like, why isn't she giving me the same energy anymore? You know, like, is she not into this? You know what I mean? Like people start questioning things. That's why, like, if you can't keep up with that energy, just don't do it. That's why like I hate when people are in the puppy love stage, the honeymoon phase, they do so much, right? They spend so much money, more than they're supposed to. That's why like even financially, emotionally, everything. Like don't give this person more energy than something that you can do long term. Because if you can't sustain that type of energy, again, something's gonna feel off. The moment you're just like, oh, like maybe I don't need to get her gifts every day, or something like that. I don't know. Everyone's situation is a little different, or like I don't need to see her every day, and you start pulling back days that you start seeing her because now all this time that you focused on this person, now it really slacked on maybe a hobby that you liked, business that you liked, something like maybe something fell behind, right? And so now you want to focus a little bit more on it because that's you, that's who you are, and you want to focus on that. But now that you pull that attention and time from your person, they're gonna be like, shit, like what the fuck? And you're just like, it's because I was giving you too much time and attention, and I was really not giving the time and attention on some other things that I like to do. Because we all have hobbies, we all have things that we like to do, and so like it also we like to spend some time, even if it's like video games or whatever the case may be. Like, that's why like that guy liked to play video games. He just didn't play as much when he was trying to get you or you guys were going through that phase. But now that he's with you and he's got you, he's going to slowly start giving that time back to the video games and doing that. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that it just came out of nowhere. It was there. He just focused all this time and attention on you. And the moment he started pulling some of it back, because imagine in the beginning, if you would have been like, hey, like, oh, I'm just going to hang out with my buddies today. Like, I know, we can hang out this day. I'm going to hang out with my buddies today. We usually play Friday nights, Saturday nights. But every now and then hang out with her Saturday nights instead of being like, sorry guys, can't do it. Sorry guys, can't do this. Because now it's going to be a problem when you start wanting like, fuck, I just want to hang out with my boys on the game. I just want to do this. I just want to do that. Now it starts becoming a problem. And especially because you're taking the time away and you're just being like, well, I used to do this all the time. I like doing it. I want to do it a little bit more, but she's feeling a type of way because you remove some of that time from her. So that's why if you can't give this, like, just know whatever you give this person, just know it has to be long-term. You can't be thinking like, can you sustain that? Can you sustain giving this person all this time and attention or whatever the case is that you give this person? Can you sustain that? Because if you can't, the moment you stop or it dials back, they're going to notice and they're going to bring it up and it's going to be a problem. Like, I'm just being honest. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys again for always tuning into these episodes. I love doing these episodes, and especially like when I get certain questions and like certain things that I can answer and respond, because that was something that I got, that question about cheating, and I was really stumped. And that's why at the time I didn't know how to answer it, because I was like, well, I felt like guys and girls cheat as much, but then I was like, well, if we really want to get into the nitty gritty about it, it's like, would you consider a girl a cheater too? If, yeah, she's single, but the person she hooked up with was married or in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, do we consider her a cheater? You know what I mean? So like, that's why like everyone's gonna have their own thing, or have their own 2 cents about it, and that's why it's great to do this type of stuff, because we get to see what everybody thinks, and I love it. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week. See you guys later.